Why, hello, and welcome to Journeys with G. Welcome back to my subscribers. Thank you for just rocking with me. Welcome to those who are new to my channel. Hopefully you become a subscriber. Hopefully we become a family. Like, let us become a family. I hope you like what you hear. I hope you stick around. Hit that subscribe button. But anyway, welcome. I'm Giovanni, and in this channel I just like to talk about, real life and lessons that I've learned. Maybe I can reach out to one of you guys and help y'all out in some way, whatever. But today I decide to go in more depth about a situation about me, my life. In the earlier video, in the 4 facts about me, I did mention my heart condition, hence the Zipper Club. So today I think I was like, you know what, I get a lot of questions, a lot of different questions from a lot of people, strangers, and people, anybody. So I was like, oh, you know what, let me just do like a little vlog about life dealing with, a heart condition, because clearly I'm not a normal person, but we're here. Stick around, hit that like, subscribe button, share, tell your family about me. I appreciate it. All right, let's go. All right, so some of the information is going to be repeated from the other video just because it is the same information. However, I am going to get in more depth about living with it. Here we go. I was born with an ASD, a VSD, and a pulmonary stenosis. I know I'm smart, like, duh. Anyway, well. In non-terminology, look at me. I was smart up until I tried to say terminology. Anyway, don't judge. Anyway, in non-terminology, I was born with 2 holes and a closed valve. So nobody knew of this until after I was born. So surprise, mom, dad, family, I'm not normal. I'm not a healthy baby. I can't even imagine like digesting that as new parents. Like, your child, her heart did not develop all the way. Like, they didn't even have time to like prepare for that. It was like boom, right there, just there. Me. Anyway, so I had to get my first open heart surgery when I was a year old, and fast forward, I did get a second surgery, and then fast forward to the future, I have to get a third. Anyway, so let's rewind that. I was never, I guess, normal. I was a miracle baby. Yeah, from the very beginning, I don't remember a lot. Like, I don't remember obviously the first surgery. I don't remember up until like, I don't know. I do remember all of the doctor appointments. I do remember like the stress tests that I had to take, these heart monitors that I had to use. I do remember my mom being strict about what I did, like sports wise, and just being, not being able to go, I don't know how to explain crazy when I was a child, but I still was kind of crazy when I was a child. Anyway, so living with it as an adult. So growing up, I really didn't pay much attention to it. Like, I knew I was a little different. I knew I had the heart condition. I knew I had to watch myself, but I just really wasn't like, I wanted to get in gymnastics. My mom was like, nah. But I was in cheerleading, which, like, come on, we're still doing stuff. But anyway, I wanted to do, like, when I grew up, like, growing up in, like, high school, I believe that was like my first interest in like softball. I wanted to get in softball. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get in it, but I was in cheerleading all from like a young age up until high school, so I was still very active. I never really I pushed myself, but I knew like my limits, and obviously I know my limits now as an adult. But I never really looked at myself as different as other people. And honestly, I forget about my scar all the time until somebody like would ask me. or like they'll look and they won't ask, and I see them looking at me, and I know you see me looking at you looking at me, that I'm seeing you look at me. But I've heard a lot of, oh, I didn't want to intrude, or I didn't want to embarrass you, or I didn't want to be disrespectful asking what happened. So I got a lot of that. I still even get a lot of that now. But let's see. I'm a normal child for the most part. My mom didn't really, besides the gymnastics, my mom didn't really keep me from a lot of things. I was a very active child. So thanks, Mom. Thank you for trying to keep me as normal as possible. So going back on the doctors, like the doctor appointments and all that stuff, they can be a pain. I should be used to it by now, which is crazy because I kind of am, but kind of not. Like, if you've ever gotten a stress test, they push you to your limits. Like, I will be connected to like a tube in my mouth, something around my head, these wires from the EKG on me. I will be like on a treadmill or a bicycle, and I would just keep riding or walking until like they push you to the absolute, until you cannot go anymore. I used to hate those, because like with me, I don't know, like I guess I can't say for other people, but when your heart is pounding and stuff like that, I'm like, oh my God, you guys are pushing me to the point that my heart's pounding so bad I'm gonna die. Like, but it's crazy because I had another one which was new to me. I think it was last year, and it was a echo stress test. So like they had all the wires on me, and literally there was like a team of them. So they were like, okay, Giovanni, you're gonna be on this treadmill, and we're gonna push you. We want your heart rate to get to like so and so. I can't remember the amount, so I'm not even gonna lie. They wanted my heart rate to get up there, and they wanted to actually do an echo. So if you ever and echoes are very common that I've gone through as well. It's an ultrasound, but just for your chest, like your heart. So I was on this treadmill, like going, just walking. Thankfully, I'm very active, so I'm like, oh, I got this. And literally, they got me to the point, like a point that I could barely move anymore, and they like ripped me off of the treadmill and threw me on to lay down to take the echo, and I'm just like, what the heck? It was very, very new to me. So, but they were killing two birds with one stone. Instead of just doing the echo and then just doing the stress test, they were doing both of them together. But it was very like fast paced, and I felt like there was just arms and faces all over me and just grabbing me in wires, and it was very interesting. But that was new, unless they did that when I was younger and I just don't remember. So I do get a lot of echoes every year. I get checked up. So 1 year will be an echo. No, echoes are very common like throughout all the years. But like 1 year will be a stress test. The other year will be a heart monitor, which when I was younger, they used to be like these blocks. They used to be like a hard block, and they stick it right here. And then you wrapped around like to hold it in place. Like, imagine a child with a big old like freaking block just right there with the wires attached, and it used to be 24 hours. So 24 hours is really not that bad. I mean, if they do become itchy, you can't take a shower, but you can just wash off whatever. I used to be really, really itchy. I remember that, and they used to drive me insane. But once it's on, it's supposed to just monitor your heart throughout that 24 hours. As I got older, they got smaller, which the last one up until like recently, it was like this really skinny little like wallet size little monitor. It was like a little computer, and they had like a little sleeve, which was a little easier. It was still attached like with the wires, and it was still going like in the middle of my chest, which wasn't that bad. Then recently, last month I had to get one, and I'm gonna talk about why I got that. But last month I had to get one, and they put it on me, and now it's like this sticker. Like, how did they go from a box, a computer, like literally a little monitor computer thingy, to a little sticker and they stuck it right here. But this one I had to have on for a week. Now we're gonna talk about why I had this on for a week. But at first I was like, oh my God, I like, you don't understand, like, this is so convenient. It's just a sticker and it's just on me and I don't have to worry about, obviously I couldn't like soak it. I had to wait 24 hours to take, you know, a full actual shower, which I found out that baths were a little better because I can monitor how wet it could get. Obviously you're not soaking it, but if it gets a little wet, it's fine. However, with it being hot this summer and me sweating, this thing, first of all, it did come off in the middle of the night because I'm a stomach and side sleeper, so it did come off in the middle of the night. I think after the third day, excuse me, I had a hiccup, after the third day, and I'm like, oh shoot, like I'm supposed to have it on for a week and it lasted like 3 days. So I actually surgical taped it to my chest. After a while I did start getting very itchy because obviously sweat, it's disgusting, sweat, but it did start getting very itchy and it wound up giving me like a little rash. But I mean, I would have been completely fine if it was a 24-hour one. I don't know how other people kept it on throughout a week. A week is long, like your body oils, and it's a lot, sleeping and clothing. It was a lot. It was a lot more convenient than before, but like I said, I would have been completely fine with a 24-hour one instead of a week one. But these are things that I have to do. I'm pretty much used to it, but it's still a pain when I have to go through all of the testings, the follow-ups, all of that stuff. But I mean, it's my life. So all right, so since we're talking about heart monitors, the last heart monitor that I had on was because I was wilding. Pandemic got to me, quarantine, lockdown got to me. That's my dog. Quarantine, all that stuff got to me. So in June, my cousin turned 30, and guess what we did? We partied. We partied like we were 21 years old, and guess who almost died? Me. I almost died because I was partying and I wasn't even paying attention. And yeah, anyway, so we had boats and hoes on a Friday. We got on a boat, we was going hard, you know, like drinking, all that stuff, blah blah blah, because I'm grown. Saturday was her actual party, which I did very good, and I was like, I'm not drinking. I stayed hydrating myself. I just knew I overdid it the day before. I'm like, I'm not drinking. I'm drinking water the whole day. The next day I wasn't drinking anything until later on, and I had like a little sip of wine, whatever. Well, that wine wound up giving me palpitations. So I started getting palpitations, and I'm like, okay. But prior to this, I was still feeling like a little bit of palpitations, and I'm like, oh, I wonder why. It has a lot to do with the weather. It's been extremely hot lately, and it's very important to stay hydrated. I'm a water drinker, so that's all I have in my refrigerator up until recently when I did get some little icy. But I drink water all the time. I do not drink soda. I do not do fast food, such sugar. But we're not gonna talk about that. So like, I'm very I don't do a lot of that, you know, bad habit of, I don't know, I do have some bad habits of eating and drinking, but back to the point, I drink a lot of water, so I'm very hydrated all the time. So I was like, oh, you know, like, why am I having these palpitations, whatever. But anyway, for going back to that weekend, I had an appointment for my doctor, my cardiologist, because I was having some palpitations. And of course, that Sunday I had palpitations to the point that I thought I had to go to the hospital. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I even almost had a panic attack. It was pretty bad, and I'm just like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, like, what is going on, blah blah blah. Mind you, I get to, I actually don't go to the hospital because I suck it up and all that stuff. It was fine. Went to my cardiologist the next, that Thursday, and he was like, we putting a heart monitor on you, girl, and we're gonna put it on for a week. And I'm like, what? So yeah, it's because I was like partying, like I was 21 years old again. Stay hydrated, people. Even if you like party, like in between drinking, drink water, drink water, drink water. So that's what I've been doing. Like I don't really drink anyway, but with the, I mean, I do drink. I don't drink heavy, but with quarantine and being stuck in the house, I was sipping on a little bit of more wine than usual. So I was like, oh, Giovanni, like you really thought you was young again. That was a wake-up call. So I'm like, okay, now I know why, and I'm just more cautious about that, especially because I'm older. So yeah, I almost killed myself. So I do not live in fear. When everything popped off with the COVID, I was living in fear, just because I can't take that risk of finding out if I'm asymptomatic, or finding out if the COVID is real, or if I can get past it. I can't. So in the beginning, I was very much in isolation and lockdown. I didn't even go to the supermarket. I had to pick that stuff up, or even had them bring it to me one time. I was not seeing my family. I was not seeing my friends, and I couldn't live like that anymore. So eventually I started opening up, but I'm just cautious. I'm very, very cautious of what I do with my life, how I do it, and whom I'm around. But I don't want to treat myself different. I don't want other people to treat me different either. Sorry, there was like a notification, but anyway, I'm just very cautious. You know, I'm very cautious. I know I'm a little different, but that's pretty much it. I do everything normal. Like I try to stay as active as possible with working out, with yoga, with, you know, walking and running. Being intimate, I mean, I'm girl, but you know, it's not that bad. It's just I always have to be like, okay, I gotta put myself first sometimes. I gotta put my health first sometimes. No, I'm not even gonna say sometimes. All the time. I have to put my health all the time first. So, you know, everything is still, I don't know how to explain it. Like I live as normal as possible, but with caution. I'm not like a crazy, like, oh no, I can't do this. I probably shouldn't even be going on roller coasters, and guess who goes on roller coasters? Me. Because you know, you live every day, but you only die once. Okay. But overall, living with this health condition has opened my eyes into a lot of things, and I'm like, damn, would I be able to handle my child going through something like this, or even something worse? It's like, wow. But it's doable. There's people out here with worse conditions that are non-verbal, that are not able to take care of themselves, that are, you know, there's so many different things out there. But I mean, I just got lucky. I had great surgeons both the times, and I'm gonna have a great surgeon the third time. So yeah, like, just a miracle. Now, speaking on the future, I am a woman. I do want to be a mother one day. Unfortunately, I have to plan my pregnancies. I cannot have an oops. I cannot have a mistake. I have to plan them because I have to do tests to make sure that my heart is able to go through all of the changes in my body. So when it comes down to me talking about my future, obviously I want to get married. Obviously I want to have children. And people can be like, oh, I want this and this amount of kids, and I can sit here and be like, oh, I want like 15 kids. Never in life. But I'm, you know, but in my mind, I'm like, and I even explain to people, I'm like, I will be completely fine with one and done. If my body was able to produce one child, hold that child through the whole pregnancy, and give birth to that one child, and both of us be healthy, I will be completely fine if that was it. If I can push for like 3, I will do 3. But if I can get that one and done, I'm fine with that. And that's something that my partner is going to have to understand, because there might be a possibility that I might need a surrogate. There might be a possibility that we might have to adopt. And being a woman, I don't want to think like that. I want to be like, oh no, my body is made for this and I'm going to do it. But I also have to have plan A, plan B, plan C, all of that stuff in case. But if I can get one out, I'm completely fine with that. Like, I would be so happy. But that's just, that's still in the future. That's still something that obviously I have to plan out. So that's a difference in my life compared to other people. And I mean, I've come to terms with that. I'm 31 years old, and I'm like, okay, all right, we'll just have to plan it. And hopefully, if we do have an oops or whatever, hopefully I'm good. We can keep it. We can keep going. So, but that's just, that's something in the future that I do think about. And me being a woman, I do get baby fever, and I'm like, oh my God, I know my mom is waiting for me, but I mean, that's a big decision that myself and my partner will have to deal with when that time comes. But other than that, I'm extremely healthy. I just come with a little description box next to me. So, all right, guys, I hope you just learned a little bit more about my condition. If you have any questions, I will be gladly to answer. I know I'm not the only one. I do have friends that have been through it, or had people that have been through it. But, being as healthy as I can be, just a miracle child over here, That's why I'm everybody's favorite. But anyway, I'll see you guys next week. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Bye.